Okay guys, so if there's a video on my channel that you need to watch, it's probably this one, because I'm gonna touch a lot of different things and how you should act right now that the Bitcoin halving is just around the corner. So you can see that Bitcoin is almost at an all-time high level, almost around the 70K mark, which marks the all-time high for Bitcoin. Bitcoin dominance is very high, meaning that a lot of money is on Bitcoin as opposed to the altcoins, whether large or mid or small caps. You can see that the Bitcoin halving, from the moment of me shooting this video, you're probably going to see this video a couple of days after, but anyway, it's 33 days away. It means that the mining rewards for the miners are going to be halved. This marks the initiation of the new 4-year cycle and pretty much the start of the bull run itself, which, despite what a lot of people are telling you, we're not in a bull market yet. This was just an anticipation phase, and I'm going to discuss what you should do with your portfolio right now. What you need to understand is that after the halving, we usually have a correction either right before or right after the halving. This could be usually after the halving, we have a 30% down from the all-time high of Bitcoin, and then we go from there. We rocket, Bitcoin dominance is going to decrease and money is going to flow more into your favorite altcoins, and that's where we're going to make those crazy returns in all of these gems that I've been preaching you guys for the last few months. Let me explain to you what you should do before the Bitcoin halving and how you should prepare your portfolio for the actual altcoin season. So what I do recommend people is to start with a safety net. How big of a safety net? It really depends on your risk adversity, on your portfolio budget, and a lot of different things that I've touched upon other different videos on how to structure your portfolio. So definitely make sure to check those videos out if you're looking for general guidelines for that. But I'm going to start by saying that the safety net is a list of altcoins. It's usually going to be layer ones, safer cryptos, medium to low risk, which are going to cover your losses should any of your high risk picks go bust. The higher your budget, the higher the safety net is going to have to be. The lower your budget, the smaller the safety net, because you're going to have to jump more towards the high risk picks to actually make a lot of multipliers, which you need, especially if you have a very small budget, let's say in the 4 figures or in the small 5 figures. Let's assume that you're going to build a safety net of 20 to 30% of your portfolio budget. I want you to focus on the layer ones for constituting this part of your portfolio. What layer ones I recommend? I've already made a video the other day, so I would definitely encourage you to check it out. But one of the biggest picks that I have is Kasa. Kasa is actually the biggest play of my portfolio right now. And if I'm being relatively conservative, I do expect Kasa to be a 10x from today's price, which would put it right above the $1 mark. It's probably going to be even more than that, especially if we get those big listings like Binance, Coinbase. We can expect Kasa to go maybe towards the $2 or $3 range. We have very few exchange listings, so it's not guaranteed. I'm betting on the future of Kasa because I really believe in this project, despite, you know, the disadvantages that this project has, which means that it's a retail coin, it's very decentralized, so there's no institution pouring big money into this. But it could also be a very good thing because there's no VC backing and the distribution is very even towards the people. So there's not going to be massive dumps. It all depends on the exchanges, if they accumulate and if they decide to actually list this project. So this could be an option. Other layer ones that I recommend, again, check the video that I made the other day, but I'm just going to give you a brief heads up. Tectum is one of the main competitors in the lower cap sphere, 170 million in market cap, both a layer 1 and a layer 2. And then we have a lithium, another layer 1 that I would recommend accumulate. The $250 mark is definitely a good accumulation zone, and we can see that we actually have a decent correction. These are all picks that you need to accumulate before the actual bull run because they're dropping now. Bitcoin had a tiny dip and altcoins are suffering. So what's the point of all this conversation? Is that the main thing that you need to understand is that before the actual bull run starts, before the Bitcoin halving, I want you to figure out your safety net that is going to be it could be one layer 1, or it could be maybe 3 or 4, depending on your budget, depending on how you want to spread your safety net. But you want to have, let's say, 20 to 40%. It's going to be more if you have a bigger budget. It's going to be less if you have a smaller budget. But Kasa is solid, Tectum is solid, Lithium is solid. You could also consider Manta. Manta is another project that is very centralized. It's already listed on Binance, but it's not listed on Coinbase. It's not listed on Kraken. A lot of pumping potential. And right now, It's close to the $3 range, which is my recommendation for accumulation. Definitely check Manta out. I have a video on it, and it's both a layer 1 and a layer 2. It leverages also the narrative of CK, of Celestia, and modular blockchain, but also a scaling solution for Ethereum. So there's actually so many things that fall into place with Manta, and with this level of market cap, it's actually smaller than Kasa, so 790 million. It has a lot of potential right here. So many projects that you can accumulate at these levels. Now, let's assume that you have your safety net figured out. What should I do with my portfolio? I would say that, especially if you have a degen portfolio and maybe you want to have fewer layer ones, another good shot at making good returns but being relatively mid-risk could be layer 2s. What are layer 2s? Layer 2s are scaling solutions for layer 1s. They are built on top of layer 1s and allow the scaling of the layer 1 itself, making them usually cheaper, faster to transact, and solving a lot of problems that the layer 1s have, especially the older ones like Ethereum or Solana. So I'm going to try to give you one pick for every layer 1, or at least the mainstream ones. So one that is going to be quite big, in my opinion, is going to be Neon EVM. This is a project that had skyrocketed. I bought it very, very early with my private group. We went at 10x, then it actually crashed a bit, and we are 50% from the top in this very moment. It's only 87 million in market cap, so I do think that we're going to see movement from the upside as soon as the money flows into altcoins. This is a scaling solution for Solana, of course, one of the biggest layer 1s out there, and it's also EVM compatible with Ethereum. So it leverages the network of Ethereum, but with the technology of Solana. And the two projects really combine with this and make this project a fantastic layer 2 scaling solution, and make this project, in my opinion, a very good investment. It's only listed on one tier 1 exchange, which is crypto.com, which is the reason why we had this big uphill in price. And if you're new to crypto, you perhaps don't know that one of the main pumping potential is the exchange listings in tier 1s. So the tier 1s that I would consider are, I would say, Binance, Coinbase, Kraken, and crypto.com. Those would be the main tier 1 exchanges. Then we have Gemini and Qcoin, which a lot of people consider tier 1s, but I think that those 4 are the main tier 1 exchanges for me. Once these projects are actually listed on these exchanges, we have a lot of price action, we have a big increase in price, and then there's going to be a lot of sell-off when the exchange listing actually takes place, because a lot of people are going to sell the news. We always say in crypto, buy the rumor and sell the news, and this is what happens, especially for people that, like me and my private community, we buy on Bitmart, on Maxi, on these very small exchanges, so we're going to make the best returns on our investment. And if you're looking to join my private group, I'm going to discuss this at the end of this video, so if you're looking to see what benefits I offer and all these things, if you're looking to join, I'm going to discuss it at the end of this video if you guys are interested. But what you need to understand is that, for instance, Neon is only listed on crypto.com, so it's very likely, in my opinion, that it's going to be listed on Binance, Coinbase, on these big tier 1 exchanges, and when it's going to happen, it's going to go to new highs. So very good project. The only problem with this one is the tokenomics, the dilution, because there's going to be very heavy unlocks occurring towards the end of the summer. So definitely something to take place. I have video courses on dilution if you guys are interested in learning more about that. But as a quick heads up, I'm going to tell you that see it as an economics, demand and supply. The more supply increases, there's going to be less demand for this project, especially if the early investors that get their token unlocked sell their tokens. The price is going to dump as a result. There's going to be many more tokens in circulations, so the project is going to be less scarce and the price is going to go down as a result. Other scaling solutions, I don't really want to give you scaling solutions for Ethereum, because I think that Ethereum already had its fair share of scaling solutions, like Polygon in the previous bull run, Optimism. The one for the next bull run could be Arbitrum, arguably, but it's not an investment that I would recommend. A lot of my followers actually have it, but it doesn't have enough risk to reward ratio for me. It's too big in market cap. It's 2 billion. I know that this is a big project. It's centralized and institutions are going to pour their money in, but I probably wouldn't touch it, especially because of the fact that it's already listed on Coinbase and Binance. So I'm going to give you actually some layer 2s for Bitcoin. Mlayer. Mlayer is one of my biggest bags for the bull run. If you see my top altcoins for the bull run, the list that I always go through during my live stream, you can see that Mlayer is my second pick for making unreal gains this upcoming bull run for good reason. This is the best scaling solution for Bitcoin, in my opinion. The graph is looking very bullish. We already had almost a 50% correction for the top, which puts it at a very good accumulation zone. Imagine all the traffic that Bitcoin is going to have with the ETF after the Bitcoin halving. All these things, and even the ordinals and BRC20 craze, if it becomes a thing again, there's going to be so much interest going towards Bitcoin. And because of it, I'm betting on Bitcoin scaling solutions. I think it's going to be extremely huge. And also, as I was making the point before, tier 1 exchange listings are not here. The crypto.com, Binance, Coinbase, they're not here. So you rest assured, there's a lot of things that are going to be built on this project, actually. And I'm super confident in this one. It runs its own sidechain, so it's not sitting on top of Bitcoin. It scales Bitcoin with their own sidechain. Very, very bullish project, and I would put a big chunk of my portfolio, especially if I was to build a medium to high risk portfolio. What about AI? A lot of people still talk about AI. I made several videos the last week because everything's super bullish on AI. However, it seems like it's taking a hit this week, especially in anticipation of the NVIDIA GTC conference, the biggest conference in AI. A lot of people think that the AI bubble is over. I'm shooting this video right when the conference is starting, so I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know if we're gonna have a pump in AI in the next few days, and you're gonna see this video in a couple of days, so things might have changed by then. I just want to say that the AI bubble already had like a great outcome. People made a lot of money. Me and my private group, we made a 30x on AI tech, so I mean, excuse me, that was like crazy gains. I do think that the money from the Bitcoin dominance and also the money from the AI bubble is going to progressively flow into gaming, layer 2s, and other types of projects. So I don't want to say to invest too heavily in AI. Let's see how it goes in the upcoming week or two. But AI, it's not something like gaming. I don't want to diversify myself too much. I don't want to spread myself too thin when it comes to AI. But the biggest projects that I can recommend to you guys are easily AI Tech, the best project in AI out there. A lot of people were asking me, oh, is this going to zero? No, it just pumped 30x in a week. So excuse me if we have a correction. Crypto doesn't go like this. Crypto does go like this. Okay, so very important thing to mention. It dipped like this, so it might be a good accumulation zone. You don't want to buy when we have a 30% candle on the upside. You want to buy into this double-digit red days because that is going to be the accumulation zone when you're going to buy before the next leg up. AI Tech, I made 4 or 5 videos about AI Tech, so I'm not going to talk about this project, but check my other videos on AI Tech if you're looking to learn more about the tokenomics, utility, and everything that is in the books for this project. Other alternatives, I mean, BitTensor Tau is more towards the safety net side. It's very, very big in market cap. It's 4 billion. So would I really recommend this? If you have high 6 figures or even 7 figures portfolio, I would probably go with something like this. Proof of work project powered by AI. I wouldn't expect more than a 10 to 15x from here, but perhaps, if you have a big net worth, one of the main things that you need to understand is not just creating wealth at this point, but it's maintaining and slowly going up with a big safety net. So for those people that have very high, very huge net worth, I would definitely recommend grabbing some Tau, but I wouldn't recommend it if your portfolio is in the low 6 figures or 4 or 5 figures for that matter. Other projects, I mean, AGI is another project that is quite huge. It's almost at an all-time high. Would I recommend it 300 million? Perhaps no. If it was to have a correction after the AI bubble, I would perhaps grab some. Other projects that seem very promising for the future, we have Octavia, which I'm actually surprised that it had a bit of a correction. It's only sitting at 12 million. Made a video on the other day, so again, check that out if you're looking to learn more about Octavia, but it's a very good project. And that's it. I don't have many other AI projects on my list. I know a lot more, but I don't want to spread myself too thin, so I wouldn't recommend you guys to go towards 10 different projects in terms of AI. The best project is AI Tech and BitTensor Tau if you have a very huge net worth. And if you're looking for a gamble that is towards a smaller market cap, I would recommend Octavia, which right now is sitting at 12 million market cap and has a volume to market cap ratio of 10%. So So definitely a lot of interest coming in for this project. When it comes to gaming, that's where there's a lot of more things to discuss, at least in my eyes. As you probably know, one of the sectors in which I specialize is gaming. It's probably my biggest specialty. And there's so many projects on a discount. It all really depends on where you want to allocate your budget, incur some risks. If you want to take higher risks, gaming is probably your best bet, because it's a sector that for the risk to reward ratio, it's gonna give you a lot of rewards, but you're gonna have to take bigger risks. So I wouldn't allocate 50% of my portfolio into gaming. It all depends on all the factors that I discussed before, but I'm just gonna go through very, very quickly to some of my best picks. If somebody was asking me what my most bullish picks for the bull run, I would say OTK is, as of right now, my biggest pick. We are actually at 10x from our initial investment. I brought this to my private group at the end of October. It's crazy that we bought when it was here, right before the actual first pumps of this project. The market cap right now is 21 million, so it's not that huge. A lot of people are recommending people to buy Mavia or Shrapnel. Those are actually big market caps, but you want to get into this smaller market cap, because to take a risk like another risk, why don't you actually focus on these projects that have smaller market caps? Because you're still taking a risk, even if you're taking a high market cap gaming crypto. So for this, you're going to get more rewards. OTK is a project built on Solana. I am bullish on everything that is built on Solana, so that is also another factor for the upside. But what differentiates OTK from other projects is that it has a double reward system. We all know that the projects that actually give rewards to the players, in which players can make money, can get tokens as a reward, as passive income, you know, those are the projects that do very well in the bull run. Look at Axie Infinity. That was one of the biggest gainers in the previous bull run. OTK could do the same thing this bull run around. You're going to be able to get golds, which is loyalty points that you can redeem for real world prices. But also you can get the OTK token itself by participating into games with weekly leaderboard extractions based on the skills and the scores that the players have during the games. And this is a mobile game aggregator. You can download the app. It's on the Google Play Store. It's on the App Store. And it's actually the most played game when it comes to crypto gaming. It's very, very huge, and a lot of bullish updates coming for the roadmap. And also the tokenomics are quite favorable and better than most games that you can see out there. Another pick is Lilab Games, Lit. Another project that I got a lot of criticism because people are emotional. People usually buy the top and sell the bottom. They act emotional. They can't stand their project going down a little bit. But guess what? If you can't handle a correction from here to here, you probably shouldn't invest in crypto in the first place, or you should just focus on buying Bitcoin and projects that don't swing as much as this gaming project, because here is where all the real money is going to be made, but also where you need to be as resilient as you can when it comes to managing your emotions. You will see your investment go down before it actually goes high to new level, and before it skyrockets to a lot of excess in the long term. I mean, at least we hope so, right? But this is only 7 million in market cap. It's partnered with Elixir. They had a merger a few months ago. Elixir is an indie gaming studio owned by Square Enix, one of the biggest publishers on earth when it comes to gaming. They own franchises like Final Fantasy, some of the biggest video games ever released in the history of video games. It's only listed on Maxi and Big Guy when it comes to centralized exchanges. There's a lot going on for this project. They have a separate token, which is the Helix token, which probably caused a lot of confusion in the industry, but that is going to be for a launchpad for all the games that are going to be launched in this ecosystem, whereas Little Up Games is going to be a gaming publisher focused only on esports titles. So there's going to be real players in the real world competing and making a living out of playing these video games. So a lot of bullish things. I'm very bullish on anything that touches esports because I know the industry inside out. So again, very bullish, and so I'm very bullish on this, and I keep accumulating. Another two projects that I'm quickly going to mention is AWT, Abyss World. This is one of my biggest finds. Nobody was talking about this on YouTube months ago when I brought it to the page, and we're already in good returns. You're actually not late to the party because it hasn't really skyrocketed. It's only 6 million in market cap, but you can see that there's a crazy daily volume, 2.7 million, and 47% volume to market cap ratio. So there's a lot of interest. I think that we're going to go to new highs soon enough. It's only listed on just a few exchanges, Maxi, Gate, and Big Guy when it comes massive centralized exchanges. They just released their first game, and it's going to be a universe of AAA titles focused on a Dark Souls vibe, very hard and dark fantasy genre. Very bullish things coming. If you're new to the channel, maybe go check out the other videos, but I've talked about this project time and time again, so you probably already know how I feel about this. And the other project that I really like is Souls. This is one of the lowest market cap project that I'm invested in. It's only 2 million in market cap. So it's probably gonna go to new highs and new multipliers X's sooner than later, because it's one of the smallest market cap projects that I'm investing in. And the chart looks like this because they were subject to a hack, unfortunately. But this is why I praise this project so much these days, because the team was super professional. Nobody lost their money. They just replaced a new contract address. And I think that we're gonna go to another leg up very, very soon. We're going to go to new highs soon enough. So these are the main narratives that I would like you to focus on. And I have some extra ones, which I'm not going to discuss heavily, because most of the projects that I invest into this are actually secret to my private group. But I can tell you that I have something on my radar that is on the RWA industry. RWA is the tokenization of real world assets, like it could be real estate, for instance, or financial products or any other things of the sort. The best pick is private to my private group, and we're already 5x on that investment. So if you're looking to get into that before I bring it to the YouTube channel, before we actually get another several X's up, you should definitely consider joining my private group. I'm going to talk about it in a second. And also the metaverse. The metaverse is probably something that is going to explode at some point during the altcoin season. And we have another new gem right there. When it comes to picks that I've publicly disclosed, I think the Carrot is on a good buying zone right now. It's a game that is very focused on something like Red Dead Redemption. You might be familiar with the game. So it's going to be similar to that game, but it's actually a metaverse project. You're going to be able to buy a land, etc., etc. They have a game update coming very, very shortly. So I think that we're probably going to have a lot of price action for this project. And I'm sorry, but I'm not going to reveal my favorite pick in the metaverse, because that is also secret to my community. So I'm going to remind you about the private group, and I'm going to conclude the video like this. I hope that you got some value out of this. And if you're looking to get into this project and make multiple 100x's during the bull run and get into the best community in crypto right now, don't hesitate to join. Check the QR right here, or it's the first link down in the description. All the benefits are listed right here, so you can take a screenshot, post the video, or whatever. I hope to see you there and help you out with your crypto investing journey. And until then, take care for now.